What's going on? We reacting to Paulie Malignaggi going in on Canelo Alvarez and Nevada State Athletic Commission for that piss poor suspension and actions they took towards Canelo Alvarez failing the PED test for clenbuterol. We back at the Box Clinic and more. It's your boy CJ Goodfella, and I'll link this video in the description if you haven't seen it. Basically, Paulie Malignaggi, he just went off. He was right. He said, how do you, come down hard on Canelo and no fine and no extensive drug testing, why he's suspended. He said he should be, if you're going to suspend him for 6 months, this was Paulie said, I'm paraphrasing, suspend him for 6 months, put him on a probationary period where you test him hard for 2 years. If he fails a drug test in that 2-year period, probationary period, then you just, suspend him for 2.5 years, whatever he said. And, you go from there. That's how you do it. And you fine them heavily. He said what they did was basically they didn't want to lose money with Canelo. Basically what they did was all they did was push a fight back, from May to September for Canelo so they can continue to make money and generate money off of Canelo Alvarez. He said they went for the money. He said they didn't suspend him or ban him because they want his services in Vegas basically still. And, it's all about the money. So they didn't want to do nothing. They said that Leonard Ellerby chimed in and said that he said that excuse the background noise, idiot on a moped early in the morning. But he said, that's the first time that they tested Canelo while he was in Mexico. Paulie said, yeah, that's why he was trying to cycle off. They popped up on him in Mexico for the first time. So a lot of the boxing insiders and a lot of people behind the scenes already know who's juicing and who's not juicing. Or they got the scoop on certain things. They know Canelo Alvarez had never been tested in Mexico, and they popped up on him in Mexico, and all of a sudden he tests positive. Now shit is starting to make sense. I knew it wasn't the Mexican meat. No, you can't fool me with that old excuse. He cheated. I've been saying that from day one. He usually don't get tested in Mexico. They give him enough time to cycle off. This time he was going to Colorado, but he usually trains out in San Diego. And VADA broke a tendency and tested him in Mexico, and he got caught. Period. Paulie is right. Paulie is the truth. Some of the things sound a little bit redundant from Paulie, but it's just the absolute truth. Sometimes he sound like he company man when he speak about Showtime fights and stuff like that and try to butter it up and dress it up. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, he keep it real. And that's why a lot of people don't like Paulie, because from his perspective, he might not always be right. Like my point of view is I'm not always right. I'm not saying that this is 100% correct or is it Bible or is it honey all the time, like 100% factual. It's not, but this is his perspective on it. And from his perspective, he don't play bias. He keep it real most of the time. And he keeping it real on Canelo Alvarez. Most people say in the comment, how do you know he test positive? You're a fucking fool. How did you know if he really got caught and really was dirty? You're a fucking fool if you don't think so. This dude was cheating. And Paulie is 100% right to come out and be the voice. Let Paulie be the voice. Let him talk shit and say shit that other fighters scared to say. Because it's right. Canelo was fucking cheating. And, for them to only test him in Mexico for this first time, I don't know how long he been doing VADA testing all the way around, that just sound like some bullshit to me. That sound like he pissed the WBC off and they just popped up with VADA and sent it to Mexico to pop him. And that might be why Mauricio Suleiman Jr. was playing a role in trying to support Canelo so bad. He might have put a knife in Canelo back. He might have set this shit up because they know who juicing. They know who cheating. You think that VADA or whoever, USADA, or what's the other one, Wanda, or whatever, the WADA, you think they don't go to the WBC and notify them that who's juicing, and you don't think sometimes they sweep that shit under the rug or something like that? They do. They do. I'm pretty sure they swept a lot more shit under the rug. If you was to uncover the whole thing, it'll be a lot of it'll break boxing. It really would. Who cheating and who juicing? These boxing insiders know. Leonard Ellerby know. Floyd Mayweather know. Lou DiBella know. Eddie Hearn know. All of these dudes know what's going on, the funny business behind boxing. They hear it. They in that fraternity of boxing. They know what's going on. And people know Canelo been cheating. They know it. That's why Paulie Malignaggi went so hard, because the suspension they gave was some bullshit. 6 months and no fine and no extensive drug testing behind that. That don't even sound like a suspension. That sounds like a fucking vacation, bro. He still gonna get his money versus Triple G. Why isn't he continuously be tested? Like Paulie said, from May to now, while you got him on 6 months suspension until he was eligible to return, he could be juicing up right now. And then when it's time to return and do VADA for the fight, he could just taper off again. He said they really don't want to catch Canelo. They don't want to catch Canelo because he generates a lot of money in Texas, in Mexico, in California, and in Las Vegas. It's a popularity contest. And boxing has always pretty much been that. It's about who's popping, who's popular. And Canelo Alvarez is a draw. Y'all try to compare Anthony Joshua to the draw that Canelo is. He's not. Because Anthony Joshua is a draw in a small-ass market nobody gives a fuck about. North America is the market to be the draw in. And Canelo is the draw there. Canelo is special to Vegas. That's why Vegas couldn't come down on Canelo as hard. That's why Kenichi Ogawa only got a 6-month suspension. Because if they would have gave Ogawa a year or two suspension and Canelo got a 6-month suspension, people would have been outraged. So they had to keep it consistent. They had to have some type of consistency amongst their ruling. At the end of the day, it is what it is, man. Boxing gonna be what boxing gonna be. You know, they don't really want to catch the bad guys. They just want the money. Everything is controlled about the money. There's no consistent ruling or no punishment. It's all subjective. It's all what they want, they feel. They wake up and they feel Canelo only deserve a day suspension, a day suspension. Because they don't want to piss off Canelo to the point where he won't come back to Vegas. Because they know Floyd is pretty much done fighting boxing-wise in Vegas. Nobody else can come to Vegas and continuously pull like Canelo Alvarez can right now. And if they had to ban him for a long time, I guarantee you they try to run Anthony Joshua a hell of an offer to Vegas. Or another fighter a hell of an offer to Vegas. Because A-side fights generate. If it wasn't Oscar, it was Floyd, you know. And if it wasn't Floyd, now it's Canelo Alvarez. They need the face of Vegas. If y'all wonder, Big Drama Show can't be the face of Vegas. He don't sell out shit. So until somebody else takes over Vegas and becomes a big ticket seller, Canelo Alvarez is going to continue to get a G-Pass. He going to be at home. He got assist move from his knee. He probably at home juicing up, you know, taking some Conjural pills and whatever he took the first time and shooting up his ass and putting shit on his knee. He can be at home juicing up and just cycling off. So at the end of the day, he probably been caught already, man, to be honest. And a lot of other guys probably been caught. But Paulie Malignaggi is 100 right here. And if you don't agree and you're naive enough to believe this dude is a clean fighter, you's a fucking fool. You dumb as the days is long. But, you know, it's boxing. It's what they feel when they feel who's the draw. And that's why you see Mauricio Suleiman Jr. face up Canelo's ass. He probably the one that sent Vada to Mexico to drug test him. He probably just trying to, you know, play both sides. And that's what he's saying. He seemed like a greasy character anyway. We be crooks, Mauricio Suleiman Jr. I don't fuck with him, man. You know, he's terrible for the WBC and the sport. I'm sorry, and I got to just keep it a buck on that. But it's TBC and more. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We reporting.